This video is sponsored by Shredlights. Shredlights is, by consensus, the best lighting solution for your electric skateboard. It's bright, durable, and easy to install with its patented mounting system. Visit shredlights.com right now and use the discount code eSkateHQ to get 10% off your purchase. In the e-skate world, shortboard lovers often get the short ends of the stick, as most e-skate brands spend most of their R&D resources on longboards. It's quite common for most e-skate brands to develop a longboard, slap on the same components on a shorter deck, and call it a day. Look at some of the earlier electric shortboards and how uninspired they look. Thankfully, this all changed when the late Boosted made the positively received Boosted Mini, and everyone else then started making better electric shortboards. Late 2021, Wowgo finally joined the Make Shortboard Great movement as they replaced their pathetic-looking Wowgo Mini with the Wowgo Mini 2, a $529.99 electric shortboard that rocks a 10S 2P 187.6 watt-hour battery. Just based on its look, it's pretty obvious right from the get-go that this is not an assembled from spare parts board. As per usual, let's go through the parts and specs. First, let's look at this deck. As popularized by the Boosted Mini, the Wowgo Mini 2 went with a deck with U-shape concave. Unlike Boosted Mini or X-Way Wave, the concave is more subtle on this one. An aggressive concave would have given the board a more responsive feel, but some may feel reduced foot comfort. I think most people would find this concave in their sweet spot, as it still feels responsive, allowing your feet to tell its position on the board while not sacrificing comfort. The board obviously has a functional kicktail that sure is useful to those who know how to kick turns. It also has a deck guard pre-installed on it, which should be helpful for protecting the tail or for tail braking, if pulling the brakes with the remote just wasn't cool enough. Beneath the deck, we have a single enclosure that houses both the ESC and battery. It appears that Wowgo put in a good effort in designing this mini board. Unlike the first generation Wowgo Mini, which was just assembled from off-the-shelf parts, the Mini 2 looks and feels premium. You can tell that they thought about the design thoroughly. The details on top of the deck are sick. Underneath the deck, you'll find a very nice gloss finish. Now, let's go through the electronics. Wowgo Mini 2 uses Hobbywing ESC with 4 speed modes and smart power on. And for the battery, it uses 10S 2P 5 amp hours with 180 watt hours. The board's marketed range is 16 miles or 25 kilometers. We had a 95 kilogram or 209 pound rider tested out, and the result is 11 miles or 18 kilometers in range. This is no surprise for a 5 amp hour battery. You can also check the battery charge level underneath the deck, which might be helpful when you want to check the battery level when charging. This battery powers a pair of 680 watt hub motors, which are compatible with 105mm cloud wheel donuts. Wowgo also included stickers for the hub wheels and a lot more stickers with other designs. We suggest you should just forget about it, as it easily comes off the wheel and is not worth the hassle. The marketed top speed is a standard 25 miles per hour or 40 kilometers per hour, which we can hit with no problem. The truck is a pair of Wowgo's proprietary 45-degree trucks with double-barrel bushings. 45-degree trucks are what most e-skate brands go with, as it balances between stability and responsiveness. These are not the same trucks as the Poseidon truck found on Wowgo 2's Pro. Let's see what it can do later. Now, to summarize the specs. On paper, the numbers on Wowgo Mini 2 are the same with most sub-$500 boards from affordable brands. For Wowgo, the slightly higher price is certainly justifiable considering the design and polish. Wowgo also used good quality skate parts, which brings us to the review of the riding experience. So, how well does the Wowgo Mini 2 ride? Well, we are pretty surprised at how nice the Wowgo Mini 2's performance is. First things first, let's talk about the trucks. It felt really responsive, allowing the board to feel nimble on the feet, and they did this without sacrificing stability. We're pretty surprised that Wowgo's proprietary truck performs this well. To put the truck performance into context, if you compare Wowgo Mini 2 to Tiny Board Mini and Meepo Mini 2, Tiny Mini and Meepo Mini 2 did not feel nimble and were less fun to carve around. If you compare it to X-Way Wave's Tryst trucks on stock settings, Wowgo Mini 2 is more stable. I always believe that most people get a shortboard for quick and easy commute on the sidewalk, in college compounds, and a maneuverable board is extra helpful in tight quarters. Obviously, the kicktail is useful for that purpose too. Wowgo Mini 2 is exactly what you want from a shortboard. It is very fun to ride on smooth roads. Riding it for the first time, I was very shocked. As we have mentioned, the trucks felt responsive and the board felt nimble but stable. Add into the formula that they used Hobbywing ESC, the controls were super smooth. Acceleration is pretty darn strong. You might even mistake it for a 12S setup. Braking is also smooth and very strong. The kicktail is very functional and easy to use too. The subtle U-concave of the deck helped with the controls while being subtle enough for you to not notice the shape all the time. So, great speed control and great maneuverability. Those are the strengths. Now, let's talk about the weakness. Actually, there's just one. Wowgo Mini 2 is terrible at handling road vibration, which shouldn't come as a surprise. After all, stiff hub motors plus shortboard plus stiff deck equals a very uncomfortable ride on very rough or poorly paved roads. For most shortboards, you will be standing directly on top of the trucks, and all the vibration from the road goes straight up. From the road, to the trucks, and to your knees. The great news here is that you can easily swap to the 105mm cloud wheel donuts and greatly decrease road vibrations. But honestly, you should probably consider getting a belt-driven longboard with a flexible deck and big or even all-terrain wheels if you deal with rough roads on a regular basis. So, to summarize, for $529.99, Wowgo Mini 2 gives you a comfortable and nimble ride. The 25mph top speed and the 11 miles range are nothing extraordinary, but the polished build and riding experience more than made up for it. The obvious weakness for Wowgo Mini 2 is the poor comfort riding on rough roads. However, this is an inherent problem faced by all hub shortboards, and the Mini 2 fares arguably better for having the 105mm cloud wheel donuts option available. All things considered, it is very easy for us to recommend Wowgo Mini 2 for anyone that's looking for a shortboard to use on good roads. It is the best shortboard to get for those who want something more refined than the entry-level $400 like the Meepo Mini 2, and doesn't want to pay extra for the $749 X-Way Wave for its bells and whistles. I think anyone who is in the market for an electric shortboard should first consider the Wowgo Mini 2, as it's substantially better than its cheaper competitor while simultaneously not too far behind its pricier counterparts. Great job, Wowgo. Love this one. As always, if you are looking to buy Wowgo, or actually any e-skate, be sure to use our affiliated discount code with the link below. It will help you get a small monetary discount and helps us out too. You'll also be tagged as an Electric Skateboard HQ customer and probably be treated better. Ride safe, guys.